Okay, so today I'm exactly quite, well, I was expecting the rain for it to rain as much, so this is going to be an impromptu bulking class. So I'm going to do what I normally or used to do, which is basically make it up as I went along. So first we're going to start off with some drills, and then we'll, basically see where it goes. So start like so, cut up, cut down, back up, cut up, cut down, back up, cut up, cut down. So when you're doing this, make sure you keep your extension. Keep your back straight. And also keep your arms extended. You should not be feeling it in your shoulders. If you're feeling it in your shoulders, you're not doing it right. And make sure your cuts are clean. So if you don't want to overdo it, don't do it this way. You want to keep it flat. And then as you come back, you're going to extend it up. Second one, step forward, step back, step. So I'm not just ringing, I'm stepping. So step with the left foot. All right, next one. Yoko Minuchi. So you're bringing this up. You're going to step forward. You're going to look at Boken, go around you, and as you step forward and finish your step, you're going to finish your cut. So here and cut, and it should come down at a diagonal. So again, you're going to raise this up, let the Boken drop, and then cut. And yeah, if you want to, go ahead and cross over. All right, that's where we're at. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to do what I used to teach, which is basically, I just think of the kata as I go along. So I guess today we're going to start here, and you're going to, I think I want to emphasize this little lesson. So when you open with your Boken, you either open like so, or you open like so. You don't want it to drift too far away. I've seen people drop all the way down. And the problem is if you go in for a block, you have all the space where if you let it drop, you have that much more space. So the difference is here versus here. You see the difference in the timing? I would hope so. So in terms of that, what you want to do is you just kind of want it to waver. And as I was told by one of my weapons instructors, that it's kind of like you're losing your concentration, so you're letting it waver a little bit. And so I'll let it waver either this way or this way. And I know some people probably don't think there's a lot of significance in that, but depending upon how your hands are, much like on an open hand, when you're open hand, you end up doing different techniques depending upon how your hand is situated. The same thing is true with Boken. If you let your hand drop like this, you're going to do one movement, whereas if you let your hand drop like this, you're going to be doing a different movement. So I'm going to go ahead and stick with the more basic one, which is what we normally do, which is letting it drop out like so. And so you let it waver, you let it drop, and then somebody would attack you, you would come up and block. So again, waver, come up and block. Now, as a quick contrast, if I had to let it drop this way to my left, usually I'll bring it up and over. Or usually I'll block on the other side. So that's why on this one, we're just going to stay basic and let it waver off, and then you're going to come back and block. So again, make sure you let it waver to your right, and then you're going to bring it up for the block. So again, let it waver over to the right, and then bring it up to the block. The other thing, and I probably should have put tape down, it's all right, yeah, I didn't, is you're also going off the line a little bit. Because again, you're being hit here. So up, on the line, block, and then turn around and step into a yoga. So again, you're going letting it waver. You're going to block the line and block. Then after the strike, you're going to go in yoga. So again, let it drift off the line. You're going to bring it up to the block, and then you're going to yoke it. Good. So let it waver, block, yoke it. Let it waver, block, yoke it. All right, so again, let it waver, block, yoke them in, and then you're going to come back and block on the other side. So you're going to let your guard down, let it waver, block, yoke them in, block. So what I'm doing is I'm laying waver to the right. I'm bringing it up to block. I'm going to step forward and yoke them in, so I'm in left hand knee now. And then I'm going to bring it back up, pin chin back a little bit, bring it up, and then block again on the left side. So again, let it waver, bring up the block, yoke them in, block. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and add in another step. So we're going to bring it up, block, yoke them in, block, and then this time you're going to show me. So, I coordinated a question. So again, you're going to let it waver, you're going to block, yoke them in, block, and then this time you're going to show me. So be aware of that because a lot of people will have a tendency to do a second yokomen. And what I'm doing here, in the spirit of changing things up, is after you do the first yokomen, you know it didn't work. You bring it up again, and then you go straight down for a shomen. So again, you're going to bring this up, yokomen to the left on knee, back up block again, and then you're going to shomen. So let waver, you're going to bring it up, block, yokomen, block, shomen. Good. So now we're going to let it waver, yokomen, or sorry, let me start all over again, my bad. So you're going to let it waver, you're going to pinch in a block, you're going to yokomen, then you're going to block, you're going to shomen, and then you're going to step forward and ski. Now remember, ski is not like a Joe where you're going to use your body. A ski with a boken, because it's basically a gigantic razor blade, you bring the blade flat. In this case, I know it's harder to see with mine, but you're bringing it in flat, and you're also letting the blade or the edge face towards your inside is how I normally do a ski. So again, let it waver. You're going to come out, block, yokomen, block, shomen, ski. And then the other thing I do is I'll make sure I put my palm against the back on a ski. So I'll do it from this angle here so you can see it better. I think this angle. So again, you're going to let it waver. You're going to tension and block, yokomenuchi, block, shomenuchi, and then ski. Maybe better on the side. So again, you're going to let it waver. You're going to tension and block, step yokomenuchi, block, shomenuchi, ski. So again, let it waver, tension back and block, yokomenuchi, tension back and block, shomenuchi, ski. Y'all getting it? I'm assuming yes. Good, good. So let's add another step. So you're going to waver, block, yokomenuchi, block, shomenuchi, ski, and then you realize, oops, I missed, so you're going to bring it back and you're carry. All right, so you're going to let it waver, you're going to block on the first strike, yokomenuchi, bring it back and block again, shomenuchi, ski, and then you're going to let it waver or parry it. And what I mean by parry is, as you're taking your step back, you're going to roll your boken over, so it ends up being flat. So what I'm trying to do is, as the person is potentially striking, as in if I ski and then they decide to ski, I'm letting it roll over and on top. So you're deflecting it off. And you don't need it to go offline a whole lot for it to deflect a whole lot. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to pin it down. I'm just trying to let it roll over. So it creates a deflection and it changes the trajectory of where the weapon is going. So again, you're going to let it waver. You're going to bring it up to block, yokomenuchi, block, shomenuchi, ski, and then you're going to retreat and parry. And by the way, the parry also works in case you ski and the person comes down on the Shomanuchi, in which case you can still roll it over and get on top of the boken, because that's what you're trying to do, is get it on top of the other boken. So again, let it waver, block, Yokomanuchi, block, Shomanuchi, ski, parry. Yeah, and you want to avoid the big movements. Again, the movement I'm trying to do is just a simple roll. It's not a huge jump over. As you can see, if it's a huge jump, it goes out of the screen. I'm trying to keep it as much into the screen as possible while controlling it. You don't want to have it go huge because you don't want to be windshield wiping. The second you do this, you're more likely to miss. So let's do it one more time. So you're going to let it waver. You're going to block, Yokomanuchi, block, Shomanuchi, ski, waver, or parry. All right, let me check on the time real quick. Okay. So let's add another step. So again, we're going to let it waver. We're going to block, Yokomanuchi, block, Shomanuchi, ski, parry, and then block down. And why is that? Because I just parried it over, so the person might still be coming in, so you're blocking down to deflect. Now, the parts that are hard to see on this block down is that as I'm doing it, I'm rolling the boken down so the blade is up. And I'm also making sure that, as you can see here, it's actually more towards my right side. So it is going to feel like a bit of an awkward position. So again, from the beginning, you're going to let it waver. You're going to come up and block, Yokomanuchi, block, Shomanuchi, ski, parry, and then deflect. But you also don't want to deflect where it's all the way over here. You only want to deflect to the point where you're able to stay vertical and locked. So again, we'll let it waver off the line. Give him the block, Yokomanuchi, block, Shomanuchi, ski, parry, and deflect. All right, so again, let it waver. You're going to block, Yokomanuchi, block, Shomanuchi, ski, parry, deflect. All right, one more time. So you're going to let it waver off to the right. You're going to block, Yokomanuchi, block, Shomanuchi, ski, deflect, or parry, and then deflect is how I'm going to just call it. I don't know what the Japanese terms are. All right. Yeah. Good, good. So again, let it waver a little bit. You're going to come up. You're going to block, Yokomanuchi, block, Shomanuchi, ski, parry, deflect. And make sure you avoid trying to do really big movements on this. You want to make sure that when you, after the, hold on, Shomanuchi, ski, and then your flip, retreat the deflection. So the parry, you're going to parry off, and then you're going to deflect down. And as you can see here, I'm trying to minimize my movement. Any extra movement you add adds to time. And as I've told people before, if you make this the equivalent of a duel, it's basically basically a really fast version of chess. So you're doing chess, but the clock is a lot faster. So that's what I mean. If you do any extra movements, you're more likely to make the first mistake, and the first mistake that you make in a duel is actually your last mistake. So that's kind of the mentality of it. So that's why you want to make sure you keep those movements at a minimum. You want to make them effective, but you want to keep the movements at a minimum. So again, let it waver. You're going to come back and block. Yokomanuchi, block. Shomanuchi, ski, parry, deflect, and you're going to cut straight up. So I know it's probably a little bit hard to see me, but I'll slow down on that last one. So you're going to let it waver. You're going to block, Yokomanuchi, block, Shomanuchi, ski, parry, deflect, and then as you deflect, you're just going to shoot straight up, like so. And also, as you're doing this, you're going to reach in a little bit too. The goal would be to flip the blade up underneath the person's chin and go in. So that's what you're aiming at, is right up underneath the chin. So make sure if you do this, though, when we're doing partners, obviously don't touch the person, but if you do, make sure you have a blunt tip. So anyway, let's start from the beginning. So you're going to let it waver. You're going to pin, chin, and block. Yokomanuchi, pin, chin, and block. Shomanuchi, ski, parry, deflect, and then this is more like a reverse Yokomanuchi. So again, you're going to let it waver. Oops, over the wrong way. You're going to let it waver. And so after you waver, you're going to go from block, Yokomanuchi, pin, chin, and block, Shomanuchi. Then you're going to ski. You're going to parry, deflect, and then come up. Good. All right, so again, you're going to let it waver. You're going to come up and block. Yokomanuchi, block, Shomanuchi, ski, and that parry, deflect, and then cut up. So again, waver to the right, block, Yokomanuchi, block, Shomanuchi, ski, deflect, or parry, deflect, up. All right. So again, let it waver a little bit. Come up and block. Yokomanuchi. Block. Shomanuchi. Ski. And then deflect. Deflect. Come up. And then come down. And what I'm doing here is basically, oops, I missed. Person's doing Shoman, Yokoman. So when you're up like this, you can come down like this and pinch in to capture their boken. So from the beginning, you're going to let it waver. You're going to come up and block. Yokeman, block, showman, ski, parry, deflect, cut up, and then as you're cutting up, you cut down. And the other part I need to bring up on the cut down is that as I'm cutting up, I'm actually going to as you can see here, I'm flipping my arms down and cutting down this way. So as you cut up, the blade will be facing the ceiling. As you cut down, the blade will be facing towards your left. And the point being is that this is a wider base to collect whatever you're trying to collect versus cutting straight down, damaging your blade, and all that other fun stuff. This protects your blade. So again, you're going to let it waver. You're going to come up and block. Yokomanuchi, block. Shomanuchi, ski, parry, deflect, cut up, cut down. As you're cutting down, you're retreating back again. Or tension back. You don't really retreat, you tension. All right, so again, you let it waver. And when you start off in this position here, you should make sure that you're relaxed where you need to be relaxed, that your extension's out, and you're not feeling any tension in your shoulders. If you're feeling tension in your shoulders, then you really need to kind of like let it, you want to relax your shoulders before you start. So again, you're going to waver. You're going to come up and block. You're going to yokeman again. Block, showman, ski, parry, deflect, cut up, cut down. Hold on, let me check on the time. Okay. So anyway, you're gonna let it waver. You're going to come up and block. Yokomanuchi, come up and block. Shomanuchi, ski, parry, deflect, cut up, cut down. Good. So again, you're going to let it waver. You're going to cut up, block, yokomanuchi, block, shomanuchi, ski, deflect, cut up, cut down, and you're going to block again, and then yoke them into the knee. Actually, I'm going to edit that a bit. So actually, no, let's not edit that. I probably should keep it that way. So again, let it waver, come up, block, yokomanuchi, block, shomanuchi, ski, parry, deflect, cut up, block down, block again, and then yokomanuchi down to the knee. Good. Yeah. And make sure your movements don't overrun each other. So as you can tell, I'm being very methodical and going step by step. One of the bad habits that I see a lot of white belts do is that they will go in and start to like bring movements. As you can see how much blob that is, it becomes more of a blob than a set of movements. The reason why we do those movements is because if you skip them, you're probably going to get hit. And coming from somebody who's been hit a lot doing freestyle stuff, I can guarantee you that trying to mix your movements you're going to get hit. It's not an if, it's just a when. So that's why when I bring this up, I actually pause for a second to block, and then strike, and then pause for a second. It's to make sure that you instill each individual step in your movement. If you just constantly try to blend everything together, you're going to make incomplete movements, and then eventually you're just going to get hit. So, or when you're trying to do a movement, you wonder why the person stopped you or why you got countered, and the reason is because you skipped a step. So anyway, so when you let it, so like I said before, when you let it waver, you're going to come up and block, Yokomanuchi, block, Shomanuchi, ski, parry, deflect, cut up, cut down, block, and then Yokomanuchi. Good. Good. So again, ready? So you're going to let it waver. You're going to come up and block. Yokomanuchi, block. Shomanuchi, ski, parry, deflect, cut up, cut down, come up and block. Yokomanuchi to the knee. Right? Let's do it again. So you're going to let it waver. You're going to come up and block. You're going to Yokomanuchi, block, Shomanuchi, ski, deflect, deflect, cut up, block down, block up, cut down to the knee. Good. Let's do it again. So let it waver, come up and block, Yokomanuchi, block, Shomanuchi, ski, deflect, deflect, come up, strike down, draw back and bring it back up, strike down to the knee, and then bring it over. So when you strike it down to the knee, you have to collect the other blade and you're going to bring it down on top again. So from the beginning, we're going to let it waver. We're going to bring it up, and we're going to do Yokoman. Walk again. Shoman. Ski. Parry. Deflect. Cut up. Cut down. Bring it back up for a block. You're going to Yokoman to the knee. Wait, did I do that? Dang it. Sorry, it's what happens when I get too far out. Start over. So again, extend out, or sorry, let it waver. You're going to come up and block, Yokoman, block, Shoman, ski, parry, deflect, cut up, cut down, back up and block, Yokoman to the knee, and you're going to let it. So you're going to let it come up, and you're going to let it fall flat again. And again, if somebody's striking down, or, you know, usually it's with a showman or a ski that you would do something like this. So again, from the top, you're going to waver. You're going to come up and block. Yokoman, block. Showman, ski, deflect, deflect, cut this up, cut it down, block, cut down to the knee, and cut up on top. All right, so again, you're gonna let it waver a little bit. You're gonna come up and block. You're gonna yoke them in. You're gonna come up and block. You're gonna showman. You're gonna ski. You're gonna parry. Right? You're gonna deflect down. You're gonna come up. You're gonna block down again. And you're gonna go up for another block. Then you're gonna show into the, or sorry, yoke manushi to the knee. Then you're gonna deflect again. So back from the beginning, you're gonna let it waver. You're gonna come up and block. You're gonna yoke manushi, block, shonichi, ski, deflect, parry, deflect, cut up, cut down. You're gonna cut down. You're gonna come up and block. You're gonna yoke manushi to the knee. Then you're gonna come up and block again, and then you're gonna cut across. So this next movement is you've deflected, your blade is sitting on top of the other person's blade, and you're gonna basically run you're basically, and it's not really with the arms, it's with the hips. And so what I'm doing here is after I've deflected down, I'm using my hips to rotate this up. And again, it's an attack towards the throat. So that's what you're going to try to do, is you deflected and now you're going to attack them at the throat again. So that would be the ultimate goal. So from the beginning, you're going to let it waver, and then you're going to come up and block, and then you're going to yoke them in, and then you're going to come up and block again, you're going to showman, you're going to ski, you're going to deflect, you're going to deflect the chin, you're going to come up towards the chin, and you're going to come down flat, you're going to draw this in, and then you're going to yoke them in to the knee, sorry, my bad, to the knee, then you're going to come up and block again, and then you're going to rotate your hips and come up. Now, I do need to bring up one little thing I forgot to bring up before, so we're going to start from the beginning, but then I'm also going to pause for a second and explain something, because I don't think I was explaining it. I know I wasn't explaining it earlier. So as you waver and you come up and block, yoke manushi down, block, shomanichi down, ski, parry, deflect, up, block down. So this point here, after I block down, I don't think I'm emphasizing enough that I'm actually bringing this up at the same time. So I'm not just here, I'm here. So it's like you're drawing in and accepting a blow. So this is accepting a blow because you're giving yourself distance and you're giving yourself the ability to and you're providing yourself protection. And again, timing is everything on this. So when you're down here and you need that extra time, do a tension back to give yourself that extra time. I mean, always remember, my eye is timing in space. It's time in space. So if you extend it, if you extend your space, you're giving yourself more time. If you decrease your space, you're reducing that time. So that's why that's always an integral part. So you're always going to want to tension back a little bit whenever you're attempting to do a block, because if you're here and you're too close, well, even if you have full armor and guard and everything, if you got hit in the hand with a real sword, you're going to lose your fingers or you'll lose your hands. So you want to extend that out so that the more likely to hit the base, they're going to more likely hit the blade and not your hands or the handle or anything like that. So again, from the top. So you're going to waver off. You're going to, again, tension back and block. You're going to yoke them in. And then you're going to come back up and block, show them in. Then you're going to ski. And then you're going to parry. Parry. You're going to come up and strike up. block down or deflect down. Then you're going to, again, tension a little bit and block. And then you're going to step forward and do a yoke maneuver. Oh, sorry. You're going to come back and you're going to do a yoke maneuver to the legs. My apologies. And then you're going to come back up again. And you're going to strike up. So from the beginning, you're going to let it waver. You're going to come back up and block, yokeman, block, showman, right? Yeah, showman, ski, tension and parry, tension and parry, come up and cut, come down, and again, tension back a little bit and block. And then yokeman to the leg. Again, and what you're doing is you're collecting the blade here. And then you're going to go up and strike towards the throat. And in terms of the open-handed point of this, and you'll probably, hopefully when we can practice sooner rather than later, when you see me practicing with a partner, what you're going to see is if the person's doing a shomanichi strike on me, you'll actually see me extend out and then bring my hand on top. And that's where I'm getting that from, is that I'm extending out and then I'm putting the blade on top. So if you think in terms of that, you know, whenever you hear the term hand blade or you know, unbendable arm, that mimics a lot of this. Because if you've noticed, there's a slight bend in the bokken and a slight bend in the sword. So you can kind of use that as your analogy. So this is actually very similar to that. So again, we're going to let it waver, and then we're going to come up and block, yokomanuchi, block, shomanuchi, ski, parry, deflect, cut up, cut down, you retreat a little bit, as in you're reaming back, deflect or block. You're going to yokomanuchi to the knee, and then you're going to, again, gather that in. And as you deflect on this, you're going to cut up towards the throat. So, all right, so one more time. So I'm going to go ahead and let this waver. We're going to go ahead and let this, we're going to block. Then we're going to yokomanuchi. And then we're going to block, shomanuchi, ski, deflect, or parry, deflect, cut up, block down. And again, that's going flat down with the blade facing towards my inside or towards my left. You're going to bring this up and block. Then you're going to cut down to the knee. Then you're going to deflect. And as you can see here, as I'm deflecting and gathering, I'm also taking a step back, retention back. And then you're going to come up to the, sorry, and you're going to come up, flick up, and then you're going to end up blocking again. So it's hooks on this, and then you're going to retreat and block. So again, you're going to let this waver. You're going to come back up and block. Yokomanuchi, block, shomanuchi, ski, parry, deflect. You're going to come up. You're going to deflect down. You're going to raise this up again for a block. You're going to yokomanuchi to the knees. And then you're going to, again, take a step back and deflect this on top of the bokken. You're going to try to cut up towards the neck. Then you're going to come back and block again. And then, so we're going to start from the beginning. So you're going to let this waver. You're going to come up and block. Yokomanuchi, block. Shomanuchi, ski, Parry, deflect, cut up, block down, and again, a block, blade, flat. You're going to come up and block, go from each to the leg. You're going to take a step back, block out the other person's leg, and you're going to, with your hips, flick this up, and then you're going to go into a block. Yeah. So, again, let it waver. You're going to pull up and block. Yokomanuchi. Block. Shomanuchi. Ski. Deflect. Deflect. Cut up. Parry down. Tension and block. Yokomanuchi to the knee. Oh yeah, Yokomanuchi to the knee. And then you're going to, again, deflect again. Cut up with your hips. Block. Here. And then you're going to go in towards the side. Notice that I'm having to constantly change where I'm targeting at. Mostly it's because I was taught basically there's an ebb and flow to this art. There's an ebb and flow, but at the same time, you can't show a pattern, you can't show predictability. And what I mean by that is if you keep doing the same movements over and over again, your partner or your opponent is going to pick up on it and they're going to adjust. And so what you have to do is adjust to that as well. And trust me, I know that the hard way. So that's why I'm constantly changing where the targets are. So you go for the throat, you go for the knee, I'm going for the top of the head, I'm going for the Yokomanuchi strikes, I'm going for a ski, Yokomanuchi to the knees, and then this last one is actually a cut into the side. So that's kind of how we're going to finish this, is actually cutting into the side. Just be aware of that. You want to keep that variation as you get better, or as you progress in Aikido. That's what you're going to want to do when you start doing things like randori. And I know it's kind of stylistic, but the point being is a lot of the instructors don't like seeing people doing the same techniques over and over and over again when you're at that level. They want to see variety. And then the other thing is that sometimes you have to learn to adapt to different partners, to different attacks, to all the different changes that occur. So I know you're just basically starting out in this, but these are things that are concepts you want to retain over time. So anyway, let's do this one last time as we're hitting the top of the hour. I'm pretty sure everybody's shoulders are a little bit sore, so let's just try to do this one more time. So we're going to go ahead and let it waver off. You're going to come up and block. Yokomanuchi. Block. Shomanuchi. Ski. Parry. Deflect. Lean forward and cut up. Tension and cut back. Tension again and block. Go for the knee. Parry up. Try to strike toward the neck. And then come into a block. And then you're going to take a big step out to the side and cut to the side. Y'all want to do it one more time? Go for it? Let's go for it. One more time, and then, so you're going to waver. You're going to come up and block. Yokomanuchi. Block. Shomanuchi. Ski. Parry. Deflect. Cut up. Come down. Bring up, tension back and block. Yokomanuchi to the knee. Deflect that. Cut to the throat. So cut to the throat. Block. And then take a step out. And as you take that step out, you're going to cut to the side. So if you have interest in this particular kata that I did, the only recommendation I can tell you is watch the recording, because I'm probably never going to repeat this exact set of steps again. So anyway, in terms of who wants to stick around and practice a little bit more, who wants to take off, it's your choice. Are you both fine for the night, or you want to continue? It's all up to you. You can thumbs up.
I don't have a preference.
Okay.
I need to leave early.
I'm sorry? Okay, that's fine. It's fine. Let's just do a formal bow out, and then we'll continue onward. All right. Yeah. All right, so anyway. And thank you, everyone. Thank you, Evie. And, you know, like I said, I'll be here next week.
Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you. So, Gordon, do you want to continue with this? Do you want to, you know, do something a little bit different? It's all up to you.
I'm good for anything, really.
Okay. I think I want to go ahead and also try to continue on with some of the, I guess, open-handed style exercises. I mean, I guess if you want to, we can do the kata that we were just doing, you know, a couple more times. But I also like doing the open-handed style practice with a boken just to get a better feel for what's going on. You've done that practice around me before, have you?
I don't think so.
Okay. So, yeah, we'll do this for a little bit. So basically, I'm trying to, one of the biggest issues, and even though some of the online instructors have kind of criticized us for this, but it's the fact that people are closing their eyes while they're practicing techniques. And the challenge is it's hard to gain a perspective on what the person, on what your opponent's actually doing, because you don't have a person here. So you have a hard time. It's like, we practice long enough to know what a person looks like when they're doing a Shomenuchi attack on us, but it's hard to gain that perspective and that feeling. So I'm trying to do some practice where the boken ends up becoming a point of reference. So like if somebody's coming down on you for a yokomen or for a Shomenuchi, you know to put your hand on this and then come over, right? And so that's kind of what I'm getting at, is somebody is coming down, so you don't have to simulate the attack. You just need to simulate where you need to begin. So you're beginning up here, and then you're coming down.